The floor gleamed beneath the fluorescent lights of Titan Global's lobby. To most people, it was just clean marble. To Nathan Cole, it was survival. Every night, he pushed his mop across those tiles with quiet focus. Once, he had been an engineer. Brilliant, respected, building machines the world admired. But life had a way of breaking even the strongest. Betrayed by his partner. Accused of crimes he didn't commit. Blacklisted. Forgotten. Now, at 41, Nathan was just the janitor. Invisible to the executives who walked past him without a glance. But none of that mattered. His 8-year-old daughter Grace did. Her laughter was the reason he got up every day. That Tuesday morning, everything changed. At exactly 7:45, the calm shattered. 4 masked men stormed the lobby, shouting and shoving. One slammed the receptionist against the wall. Another waved a screwdriver like a weapon. Panic spread fast. People screamed, ducked behind chairs. Nathan froze for half a second. Then, he saw the small photo of Grace on his ID badge, her smile steadying his shaking hands. Something old and buried inside him woke up. He tightened his grip on the mop, not as a janitor but as a protector. Before the intruders could reach the elevator, Nathan moved fast. One swing to the jaw crack. The first man dropped. A quick pivot, a sweeping strike to the legs. The second man hit the floor. Years of defense training he thought he'd left behind surged back into muscle memory. Within seconds, 4 men lay on the marble, stunned and defeated. The lobby fell silent. The janitor had saved everyone. Phones recorded. Cameras flashed. By noon, the world knew his name. But Nathan didn't want fame. He just wanted to pick up his daughter from school. That afternoon, a black SUV pulled up outside Titan Global. Out stepped Evelyn Hart, the CEO, a woman known for her precision and her ice-cold authority. She stared at the shattered glass at the mop lying on the floor and asked just one question. Who did this? All eyes pointed to Nathan, quietly filling his mop bucket. Evelyn expected arrogance. What she saw was humility. "You're the janitor?" She asked softly. "Yes, ma'am," he replied. "Just did what I had to." By the next morning, Nathan's story was everywhere. Janitor hero stops armed attack. Single father saves dozens with a mop. But behind the headlines was a man who carried scars the world couldn't see. 7 years earlier, Nathan had been a lead systems engineer at Helios Tech, until betrayal destroyed everything. He lost his career, his reputation, even his marriage. When his wife died in an accident, he got Grace back. She was his everything. And so, he took any job he could, even if it meant mopping floors in the kind of building he once helped design. Evelyn, intrigued, pulled his personnel file. And froze. Nathan Cole, the same man whose work she had studied in university. A genius. A forgotten name. She called him to her office the next day. "You shouldn't be cleaning floors," she said quietly. "You should be leading teams." He gave a sad smile. "That world doesn't want me anymore." "Maybe it does," she replied. "Or maybe it needs you more than it knows." She offered him a small promotion. He accepted only to give Grace a better life. But soon, Evelyn saw his brilliance firsthand. He didn't just fix broken machines, he made them better. He solved problems nobody else could. And slowly, people who once ignored him began to respect him. One rainy afternoon, a major board presentation nearly collapsed when the system crashed. Millions were at stake. Evelyn called Nathan. He walked in wearing his janitor uniform. Executives whispered, "They called the janitor?" 10 minutes later, the system was running flawlessly. Nathan turned to leave quietly, but this time, the boardroom erupted in applause. Over time, Titan Global changed too. Inspired by Nathan, Evelyn launched a second-chance employment program for skilled people who had lost everything. Sometimes, she told her team, the greatest minds hide behind the humblest uniforms. 1 year later, Evelyn handed Nathan an envelope in her office. "Head of Systems Innovation," the contract read. Nathan stared, speechless. She smiled. "The world may have forgotten your name once. But we won't." That night, Nathan returned home to Grace. She sat at their small kitchen table, crayons in hand. He handed her the envelope. "What's this, Daddy?" she asked. He lifted her into his arms, eyes glistening. A new beginning. For years, he'd been invisible. But heroes aren't made by titles. They're made by heart. And Nathan Cole had always had one big enough to change everything.